Hello everyone, this is Warhawk Beyond 2040 and welcome to another edition of the Supergirl Season 6 review series. And today I am going to be talking about episode 10, Still I Rise, which I have just finished watching. And this episode was kind of a hit and miss for me. I wouldn't say I disliked this episode, but at the same time I didn't love it. This episode I would probably say was pretty average. The only thing that I enjoyed probably the most out of this episode was the whole dream stuff that was going on with Nia. And this episode pretty much picks up where we left off at the end of episode 9, where we see Mixius Pitalik's sister, Nixley, grants Nia a wish where she would spend 24 hours with her mother in exchange for her being freed in the real world. And of course, as we all know, Nixley being a imp from the fifth dimension, imps cannot be trusted, and we see Nia is trapped in her home with her mother while Nixley is out doing what she does best, and that's causing trouble in the real world. So, as I said, this episode pretty much picks up where we left off at the end of episode 9. Now, we also saw in the last episode, Jimmy Olsen's sister Kelly has made her declaration that she wants to become the new Guardian and following the footsteps of her brother. So, in this episode, we are seeing Kelly making the first steps and she's starting to train herself to become the new Guardian. That was quite interesting. I mean, I've seen pictures of what she is going to look like as Guardian, but obviously seeing a picture and seeing it in live action are two completely different things. So that is going to be interesting to see. And also, we saw in this episode Kara trying everything she can to try and get the city to change their mind about selling the affordable housing building to a tech firm. And we also saw Supergirl use Catco Media to try and convince everyone about trying to get the decision overturned. And we also saw in this episode Nia training with her mother to learn about the dream realm and how she can improve on her powers, which I thought was probably the best thing about this episode, as I mentioned earlier, was the Nia stuff. And also, we see in this episode how much of a dangerous threat Nixley is starting to become. And it looks like Nixley is shaping up to be the main villain for the final season of Supergirl. And we see an ice bomb is released and starts to freeze everything. And we see Kara and John Jones and all of their other friends evacuates the building with a little bit of help from Rainey. And we saw in the final moments of this episode, we saw the City Council decide to keep the building zoned as affordable housing, much to the delight of Kara and Brainy and all of their other friends. And then we see at the very end of this episode, we see Supergirl is confronted by Nixley, and we also see Nixley freeze Supergirl's legs, and Nixley is dead set on going back to her realm and killing her father before anybody else does. And she wants the same for Supergirl. And we see Kara call out for Mr. Mixius Pitalik, and we see him actually show up at the very end. And that also got me very excited and that also sets up for episode 11. So it looks like we're going to be seeing some form of brother versus sister battle between Nixley and Mr. Mixius Pitalik. And as I said already, this episode was kind of a hit and miss for me. Not the greatest, but certainly not the worst. I would probably say this episode was average, but slightly below. So I'm hoping that for the next episode, which is episode 11, it's going to be a lot better. So we'll just have to wait and see, really. So that's going to be it from me. I am going to wrap this up now. What's your thoughts on Kelly Olsen training herself to become the next Guardian? When exactly do you think we will see her suit up? Do you think it could be in the next episode, episode 11? Or do you think it could be towards the end, or maybe in the series finale? What did you all think of episode 10? Did you enjoy it? What was your thoughts on Nia being reunited with her mother for 24 hours? Do you think now that she's trained with her mother, do you think she's more powerful than before? And also, what was your thoughts on Supergirl calling out Mixius Pitalik to come to her rescue and stop Nixley? What kind of battle do you think this is going to be for episode 11? You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will see all of you next time for another edition of the Supergirl Season 6 review series, where I am going to be talking about episode 11, which hopefully is going to be a lot better than this one, but we'll just have to wait and see, really. But the way this episode ended has really piqued my interest, so it's going to be very interesting to see how exactly all of this is going to play out in the next episode. But the ending was the only thing that's got me really excited. So until next time, take care, everybody, and stay safe. And once again, thanks for listening.